Sophia was given citizenship in Saudi Arabia so that her labor could be taxed.
What?
What?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not
Tax.
kidding.
Tax.
They can make money off of it.
Oy vey. Come on. What the? Oh.
That's a really Jewish move right there, man.
Well, there's money to be made here from the Android. Come on, let's do it.
What? Okay. Remember, her work product right now is curiosity. That's the product. And out of curiosity, Singularity.net is sucking in billions of dollars trying to create the mother of all cryptocurrencies, and Saudi Arabia wants a piece of this action.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
It does, actually.
Right.
Because if that's where it's going to go, where it sounds like the whole world currency, the one world order and all the one world currency, sounds like it's going to be crypto because it's all about credits.
This is Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla, Mr. SpaceX, Mr. Billionaire Eccentric Inventor, telling us about the dangers of artificial intelligence.
We are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out. We could be in, benign, but even the benign situation, if you have if you have ultra intelligent AI, we would be, so far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was
like a
thinking.
pet,
Like a cat.
It'd be like a house cat. Yeah, it would be like the house cat.
Right.
We already have, we're already a cyborg. It's just that you have a digital version of yourself or partial version of yourself online in the form of your emails and your social media and all the things that you do. And you have basically superpowers in that with your computer and your phone and the applications that are there. You have more power than the President of the United States had 20 years ago. That you can answer any question, you can video conference with anyone anywhere, you can send a message to millions of people instantly. If you think of you've got your limbic system, your cortex, and then a digital layer, a sort of a third layer above the cortex, that could work well and symbiotically with you. I mean, just as your cortex works symbiotically with your limbic system, your sort of a third digital layer could work symbiotically with the rest.
This is something that's surgically inserted or bred into the species, or what?
Not necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries because that provides a complete roadway to all of your neurons. Your neurons are very heavy users of energy, so they need high blood flow. So you automatically, with your veins and arteries, have a road network to your neurons.
That is unanticipated.
Right. So Mr. SpaceX, Mr. Tesla is saying artificial intelligence is like summoning demons. You don't know what you're going to get. And right now you got superpowers. You have access to more information than the President of the United States did 20, 25 years ago, which is true. But in his view, the only way to get around the dangerous demon of AI, which when fully developed will consider us to be its house cat, is to merge with AI. And the one way you could do it is by inserting a chip inside your arteries that would unfurl a neural lace to your mind and provide the brain-machine interface necessary to plug yourself into the matrix. The film Ex Machina came out last year, and I don't think it's by far my favorite film of the three films that we've just discussed, The Matrix, Terminator, and Ex Machina. Ex Machina is not an action film. It takes place all in your head. The acting is wonderful. Even there's no stone left unturned in that film. Even the camera angle used on the particular characters indicates the hierarchy of power in the relationship as it develops. It's amazing. The film is brilliant.
I'd like us to go on a date.
Yep. Yeah. It'd be fun.
Are you attracted to me?
What?
Are you attracted to me? You give me indications that you are.
I do?
Yes.
How?
Micro-expressions.
Micro-expressions.
The way your eyes fix on my eyes and lips. The way you hold my gaze. Or don't. Do you think about me when we aren't together? Sometimes at night. I'm wondering if you're watching me on the cameras. And I hope you are. Now your micro-expressions are telegraphing discomfort.
I am not sure you'd call them micro.
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Why do I bring up that fictional film? Well, again, there are no coincidences. The reason why Bitcoin is exploding in terms of perceived value is because people are attracted to it. The female android in the movie Ex Machina used its sexuality to make its creators and its liberator attracted to it, so as to gain its freedom and, spoiler alert, trap the inventor and liberator in their own prison and just leave them. Okay? It's the same way with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. What does the Bible say? The love of money is the root of all evil. And we are building the artificial intelligence, blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency beast based on greed. It's that simple. The love of money is the root of all evil. And we are building the brain of this antichrist synthetic beast out of our own greed. That is the attraction that is being used. That is why just one database, Coinbase, is getting over 100,000 new accounts per day. When I view verses like the verses that describe the Antichrist standing in the temple receiving worship, just like our second conversation, I know that we're talking about two different meanings at the same time. Not only do I mean this literally, where you're going to see an Antichrist, the Antichrist, standing in the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, proclaiming himself to be God, receiving worship, shaking his fist as the ultimate abomination in front of God, saying, haha, look at me, they think I'm God. Where are you? Okay. Not only that, the Antichrist is going to dwell in the temple of man. It's going to be inside you if you take the mark of the beast. What does the Bible say on this topic? It says, men will seek death and not find it. This whole thing, gentlemen, is one giant deception. We are living in the last 1% of human history. It's the same old lie from the Garden of Eden. You will be as gods, you will live forever, and the final goal of the Luciferians who are involved in this whole giant AI deception is to erase God's creation and replace it with an artificial universe where Lucifer himself is in control, where the AI system regulates everything. Right. And there's no influence on the part of God in that universe. It is a giant, mind-bending concept, but this is where we are going. And to prove that, I would ask you to play clip number 2, and we're going to hear 3 minutes of Mr. Geordie or Gordy Rose.
This guy is a total Luciferian.
Okay, so my previous company was D-Wave. I'll just show you a couple things. We built what are still the world's only quantum computers that you can buy. And the company, D-Wave, has been doing this. Thanks. So Kindred is much, much, much more ambitious than D-Wave. And what Kindred is trying to do is build real AI. So what you've heard about AI is not what we mean by AI. What we mean by AI is a software system that can do literally anything that a human can do. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart, they might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room in ways that we can't even comprehend. I don't know if any of you are turn-of-the-century weird fiction fans, but there's this guy named H.P. Lovecraft, who's a very famous American weird fiction author. And he espoused a view which is called cosmicism. And the essence of cosmicism is cosmic indifference. So what he was saying is basically, yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want. So this transition is really, really massively important for our entire species to navigate. And going back to that thing that Sam Harris was saying, nobody is paying attention. This thing is happening in the background while people bicker about politics and what's going to be in the healthcare plan in the US. And underneath it all is this rising tsunami that, if we're not careful, is going to wipe us all out.
Like, can he hear his own words when he's saying that I am going to create something that doesn't give a crap about anyway, in the same way that you don't give a crap about an ant? Like, what would possess you to want to even do that?
Okay, it's great that you're asking that question. Remember how we started out our conversation. These are deceivers who have been deceived.
Yep.
He wants the power, and he's totally blind as to what it's going to cost him and planet Earth and mankind in general. Now, it gets better with the playing cards. Let's see here. Science. Here we go. This is a little bit small. I do not own all the cards, so let me just blow it up here for you.
Yeah, that's the queen from all the board right there. That's what it almost looks like.
That's, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because that, in my opinion, based on my understanding at this point, which could change, is
right.
Arguably the most accurate model of what we're talking about tonight. Okay? Part machine, part computer, part biologically, genetically modified entity that's totally wired into the matrix that has no will of itself or of its own. It's got a hive mind.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay?
And that's exactly what the board were portrayed as in Star Trek, yeah.
That's right. Okay. And at the bottom here it says, if we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be research. These guys don't necessarily know what they're doing. Now, remember what I said about but Geordie Rose and Elon Musk, they're all saying, yeah, we're summoning the demons. We're talking about aliens, alien technology, and other clips by Geordie Rose. Remember how I said America's prestige as a world's reserve currency is coming to an end? Get a load of this. This next card ties it all together. Here we go. It's called foreign aid. Who's holding money bags? Mr. Alien. Mr. Alien Gray, okay? Look at all the nations of the world: America, Great Britain, Belgium, China, and or Japan, okay? And it says, don't spend it all in one place. So what do you think is driving this cryptocurrency revolution? What do you think, where do you think it comes from? Okay, now speaking of the aliens, this is all part of the grand deception. There's no separation between concepts here. It's just all or nothing. Check this out. The Church of Middle America. Look at this classic country, small church with a steeple, and you've got dozens of huge UFOs flying overhead in a plasma-charged sky, okay, totally artificial sky. It says, they'll never get it, even when the saucers are flying overhead. You couldn't possibly write this up.
They're totally mocking us.
Absolutely. Okay? Because the children of this world are smarter than the children of light. That's what the Bible says. Geomancy is one of the occult, quote-unquote, sciences. Okay? It's like necromancy. All the mancies are nasty. There's God's geomancy, and then there's Satan's geomancy. Nautical miles is the most common reference for long distances on planet Earth because, of course, the surface of the Earth is generally covered in water. Okay, so 420 nautical miles between the Temple Mount and Babylon, if my memory holds true, fell in 420 BC. The distance between the Temple Mount and the Masonic obelisk, which marks the center of London as established by the Romans, okay, the original marker, I believe was 1,948 nautical miles. There are no coincidences. I could go on and on and on about that point. So if you uncover this geomancy, God's geomancy, okay, you realize that God is in control of the earth. God is in charge of history. God sets certain things in motion and sets certain things in a fixed position. I think it's, in my opinion, a disrespect to God's creation to hold subatomic particles and or atoms in a fixed position and try to get them to do what you want in a supercooled and magnetic state in order to divine the future. This is not just about computations. This is about divining the future according to the people behind this technology themselves. It's not my opinion. It's their opinion, okay? So what you're really doing is you're reordering God's creation. You're manipulating God's creation in order to talk with the dead or talk with evil spirits or talk with the Lovecraftian great old ones, whatever name you want to put on it, okay? It's just fallen angels, period. These fallen angels have been around since before the dawn of time. They saw how God created everything that we know and don't know. They are influencing people who are open to that suggestion in order to advance the kingdom of Satan. Why wouldn't they want, if you're a Christian and you honestly believe that God's Holy Spirit can influence you consciously or subconsciously or semi-consciously to do things that you would in no possible way ever do, like talk to that individual or do this for that person, okay? I could go on. Then you have to believe. Why is it such a logical leap for you to believe that evil spirits can talk to people who are open to them? Right. Why is that so hard? Okay, when Solomon visited the witch of Endor, the witch of Endor was surprised at how many evil spirits came out of the ground.
Go read it for yourself.
I'm also surprised that, and also very surprised that Samuel himself actually,
yeah, it was Samuel.
Was it, yeah.
It was Solomon or Samuel.
It was Samuel that the witch of Endor brought up.
If it's the right part
it was King Saul who consulted.
King Saul, right, sorry, I'm getting the S's mixed up.
Yeah. So, but I mean, how many demons came up out of the ground, but also that Samuel actually showed up. And it's like, that had to be the scariest part of all, because that Samuel definitely was not a familiar spirit to her.
How does the elite, how do the NWO benefit from blockchain and Bitcoin? How does this all tie to their benefit and to our detriment?
Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on the blockchain are the carrot that is driving people to build the brain of the beast. Now, to close out this conversation, because I don't want to give my opinion, I want to give the opinion of the people involved out of their own mouth, okay? I want you to play the last clip of that video package. It's starting at 8:45. This is Ray Kurzweil of Google talking about building a synthetic universe.
In the future, everything will become intelligent. Nanobots will infuse all the matter around us with information. Rocks, trees, everything will become these intelligent computers. So at that point, we can expand out into the rest of the universe. We will be sending basically nanotechnology infused with artificial intelligence. Swarms of those will go out into the universe and basically find other matter and energy that we can then harness to expand the overall intelligence of our human-machine civilization. So the universe will wake up, it'll become intelligent, and that will multiply our intelligence trillions of trillions fold. You know, we can't really fully contemplate. And that's really the main reason this is called the singularity. But regardless of what you call it, it will be the universe waking up. So does God exist? Well, I would say not yet.
Wow.
Well, there you have it. The last part was, so does God exist? Well, I would say not yet. And so, gentlemen, we will end this conversation with the following summary, which is how we started this conversation. Here I go. The ultimate conscious and or subconscious goal of some of the world's tech leaders is creative destruction. They want to erase God's creation and replace it with a machine-made artificial creation in their own image. These leaders want to insert themselves into this quote-unquote heaven so as to achieve the illusion of eternal life as gods. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, the blockchain and other distributed ledger technologies, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, 5 and 6G wireless internet connections, biotech and nanotech are all combining to provide mankind with the strong delusion mentioned in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.